So do nice guys really finish last? I'm dating coach and TED speaker Hayley Quinn, and I'm here to answer this age-old dating questions with 5 reasons nice guys actually might do pretty well at dating. Now, if you think that nice is always bad and that it never works in terms of creating attraction, I can kind of understand where you're coming from. I don't think I've ever spoken to a guy who can't think of at least one example in his life, usually when he was pretty young, where he was trying to do all the right things to impress a woman. He was maybe planning his every move, making all the effort, only to discover that she'd actually run off with this real idiot in the end. And I get how annoying and frustrating that might be. But I think sometimes that idea that being a bad boy is going to make you successful at dating in the end is actually kind of limited. So let me break this down for you. But first of all, I just want to quickly define what I consider nice to be. So when I'm thinking nice, I'm not thinking a sycophant, because sometimes if you are doing nice things, but not from a genuine space of that's just how you're enjoying connecting with people, but because actually you want something from someone, that's not nice at all. That's a covert contract. That's a way of actually trying to manipulate people. So that's not the kind of nice I'm talking about here. But anyway, let me go into the 5 reasons why I actually think nice guys might not finish last after all. Reason 1, bad boys give the chase, nice guys make dating easy. Now, there's a time in people's lives where perhaps having that chase can feel really exciting. You know, he's the guy that isn't answering your calls, drops off the radar every 2 weeks. You never know whether you're coming and going. One week it's an amazing romance, the next he's poof, disappeared forever. Now, maybe when you're 18, you might find that exciting, and it's like all the uncertainty creates a lot of romance because you never quite know where you stand. However, I think as people actually mature and grow older, they get to a point where they're like, you know what? If someone is being really flaky, if someone's really unpredictable, that's no longer attractive to me. That looks like someone who either isn't making me a priority or hasn't got their life sorted out. People who've got their self-esteem in the right place, or should I say women who've got their self-esteem in the right place, will tend to prioritize relationships that feel easy, where there's no confusion, there's no mixed signals, there's no uncertainty. Because whilst that might have at some point felt exciting in the past, the shine will have really worn off those experiences, and instead she'll be looking for a man who's more stable and more consistent. Bad boys have a strong sense of self, nice guys are doormats. So another real bad boy characteristic is they have that like devil may care strong sense of self, which is like, this is my way or the highway, and you can either like it or you can go. And something about having a very strong sense of identity is really attractive in the dating process. That's why simple things like having an online dating profile that's really unique will stand out. That's why not cancelling all your plans in order to see someone is attractive. It's like saying, you know what, I actually really like my life as it is without you in it. So I need to find someone who is on my wavelength. However, this is another one of those characteristics which is like a scale. I value my self-esteem, and so I'm not a doormat. But then we can go kind of too far in the other direction where there's no compromise, where everything has to be this one way. And again, compromise is such a fundamental principle of good relationships. Like, it has to go both ways. So if someone has that devil may care, my way or the highway attitude, again, might become off kind of attractive in the early stages of dating, but when we get to the relationship part, that's going to cause problems. I also think there's a way that you can be compromising and nice without also being a doormat. Even if you express it like, you know what, I was desperate to watch that sci-fi film tonight, but seeing as you asked so nicely, you've twisted my rubber arm, we'll watch the chick flick. Now, I'm being very gender stereotype here, but you get what I mean. It's about showing, yes, I've noticed I'm compromising, but I'm cool with that because I actually don't need to win every battle to always be right. And in fact, not needing to always be right, to be able to take on board differences of opinion actually shows really good self-esteem. Bad boys grab attention, nice boys hold back. So something that I've seen as a dating coach over the years, and remember, I have taught literally thousands of men and women how to meet one another in real life. And if you want to check out more information on that, by the way, head over to hayleyquinn.com/unite. The link is beneath this video. So when you're approaching a woman in real life, a massive difference I've noticed in terms of why women sometimes seem like they're choosing the bad boys, it's because a lot of the time, the bad boys are the only ones that get onto her radar. If you're imagining you're seeing two female friends chatting at a bar, if you're the kind of guy that thinks, oh, I'd really love to say hello to her, but she's clearly really deep in conversation with a friend and I don't want to be rude and I don't want to interrupt. Sometimes that conscientiousness, whilst it comes from a really good space, if that holds you back from making that first move, then she's never going to realize that you actually exist. And what will instead happen is the more typical bad boy who perhaps isn't thinking so much about being considerate, isn't thinking about anything other than, hey, I want to go talk to her. He approaches her, and because of that, he's the one who she ends up going out with, just by virtue of the fact that he's the one that put one step in front of the other. And what I really like to encourage is for like the nice guys, if I can say that, of the world out there, that there is in fact a way that you can approach women which isn't overbearing, which isn't persistent to the point of being annoying, and that still shows that you're socially aware and conscientious. Even in that exact scenario of her talking to a female friend at a bar, even if you walk over and say, hey, look, I know I'm gate crashing here, but I just wanted to say. Sometimes holding back might not be the most helpful thing for your dating life. So you have to try and find a way that you can stay true to your own values while still taking the action steps to connect with the women out there that you want. Bad keeps people that have low self-esteem. Nice, long-term attracts people who have high self-esteem. Now, this is a complicated area, right? Because now we're talking about toxic relationships. And this is only a short YouTube video. In fact, you may want to check out some of the other videos on my channel if this is something that's going on for you in your life right now. So ultimately, none of us want to be in relationships with someone who doesn't treat us well and who doesn't respect us and isn't kind to us. When someone does have other areas of their life in order, when she feels really good about herself, when she's got a great support network of people around her, at that point in time, people are going to want partners who really respect them. So again, whilst short term, that bad boy characteristics could feel kind of exciting, longer run for those healthy, stable relationships, you're going to want someone who treats you nicely and who you treat nicely, because that's actually what a relationship is all about. It's meant to be about creating stability in your life rather than constantly rocking the boat. Bad needs to win, nice lets it go. So if there is a comment that you'd hear from women sometimes, they might say, oh, I really want to feel pursued by a guy. Now, this is kind of interesting territory here because it's a very fine line between a man showing a nice level of persistence and being harassing and not taking the woman's feedback on board. So I guess another bad boy characteristic that you might think of as attractive is that the bad boy is like a go-getter. He really wants to win. And I think sometimes, though, even wanting to win can, in a way, hold us back. When we need to win a situation, like say there's a woman that you really, really want to date, or you feel like you've messed it up with your ex-girlfriend and you want to get her back, sometimes that desire to win and to resolve the situation can just keep you stuck in a situationship that isn't working for far longer than you should do. Other times, if you have that feeling of, you know what, I'm just going to let this go. I don't need to win. I don't need to be right. I don't need to be the best. Sometimes that allows you to let go of scenarios in your life far quicker, to forgive much more easily, and to actually, importantly, move on to someone who is right for you. So you may find that it's not all about having that drive to win. Again, there's a balance here between, is it that drive to win that enables you to feel confident enough to walk up to the woman you're attracted to at the bar and get her phone number? Or is it trying to win too much and therefore getting completely stuck on someone or a scenario that isn't right for you. So that nice guy characteristic of actually being okay to let things go can be really, really important for dating, because beyond one woman, beyond being attractive for one date, what's actually so important for dating is your motivation levels. And sometimes as well, if you feel like bad boys always finish first, you can find yourself trying to adopt the characteristics of a bad boy and behaving kind of not like yourself. Again, this is actually going to be very limited, because whenever we try to behave in a way that doesn't really feel congruent to ourselves, somewhere inside our mind will slam the brakes on, and it will either feel really uncomfortable for you to behave that way, or you'll just not be able to do it. So instead, why I wanted to sort of upvote some nice guy characteristics in this video is to show you that actually you can accept who you are, that there's going to be virtues to how you naturally interact with people. And if you can build your self-esteem, if you can have good boundaries, if you can still be proactive and not let niceness hold you back, then this actually can be a magical combination for your dating life. If you've liked some of the info in this video, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit subscribe or give this video a like. Also, if you want to find out more information about how you can be attractive to women on your own terms, please head over to hayleyquinn.com/unite. The link is beneath this video.